Okay, folks, this is uh, this is an emergency broadcast, and I know you didn't get a notification, but here I am. Um, can I get one of those pillows? Thank you. I know you're probably pinned to your television right about now, um, because the world has gone nuts. Okay, it's gone crazy, and mhm. I wanted to come on here and first of all, let me know if you can see the chat. Um, I wanted to I wanted to come on here and just reiterate what I have been saying for ever since people President Trump, the former president, was coming down that escalator. I did not know the man. I knew he had a program called The Apprentice. I didn't watch it, just not interested in reality TV shows. But after watching some of his campaigns and seeing how the Marxists and the socialists and the communists were responding to him, I told my husband and I told some of you, they want that man dead. I didn't know him. I just knew that what he was saying went completely against communist ideology. And unfortunately, right now, we have socialists, Marxists, and communists running the country. Uh, So let me bring some of you up to date if you don't know what's going on right now, what happened just a while ago. Make sure you sign in on the chat so that I know where you're signaling from, uh, so that I know that you're here and I can acknowledge you as soon as I see you. And make sure you click the thumbs up button. It helps get the message out to other people. So President Trump was in Pennsylvania, my home state, doing a rally with his thousands upon thousands of supporters. And so there were gunshots that rung out. And so Secret Service had to rush him off the platform. The story that I'm getting right now, just a few minutes ago, was saying that I saw the thing. Uh, I saw the replay actually because my phone started blowing up with text messages and phone calls, chat messages, and I'm saying, what is going on? So I checked it out and I watched the replay. I personally, I think I heard about 6 shots. It may have been more. I don't think so. It didn't sound like it was a high powered weapon. Um, and I can say, like I have said to a few people now, if it was a sharpshooter, he wouldn't have missed. Okay. Now, it does look like it grazed him. Looks like the bullet grazed him, but he's okay. And the last report that I got that there are 2 people that are dead. So now let me say something. First of all, I want to say the American people are being baited to go into a revolt. Okay, I want to tell you that right now. So I came on here for this emergency meeting with you guys to tell you to stay peaceful. Stay peaceful. Look at your preps. Make sure you have what you need, because I have been saying for a while that the country may go through a period of time where it is too dangerous to go to your store at that moment. Okay. And you have to make sure that you have all the essentials that you need to carry you for a week or two. just like you would in any other kind of an emergency. Okay. But I'm telling you, just as sure as I'm black, okay, the American people are being baited so that they can be wiped out. All right. I'm telling you, that's what's happening. You have got to keep your head. Keep your head, stay peaceful. Don't give your energy to blood sucking vampires that want to distract you with all kinds of foolishness to keep you off your game. All right. I'm telling you, you've got to stay focused on what's important. Now, I'm not saying this ain't important. I'm saying there is nothing that you can personally do about what happened today. What you can do is keep your focus on yourself, your community, your family. Make sure you are protected as much as possible at all times. Make sure you have what you need at all times. Okay. This is why, folks, this is what I've been telling you about for I don't know how long now. Just roll back on the channel and you'll see how long I've been talking to you about these kinds of things possibly unfolding. And you've got to have your head on a swivel. Okay. So, the women in our family we have this thing. The thing is, when something really, really, really gets on our nerves, we get nauseous. I mean, physically nauseated by it, right? This made me sick. I'm sick of this. I was talking to one of my family members earlier today who did not know what was going on. And I was talking to her about it. And she said something to me that I agree with. Let me tell you, if they, how you doing, Judy? I'm trying to choose my words carefully here, but let me tell you this. They didn't miss with Lincoln. They didn't miss with JFK. They didn't miss with Bobby. Let me tell you something. If they wanted that to happen, they wouldn't have missed. So this is why I say you're being baited, all right? They would not have missed. If a person is an expert marksman or an expert sharpshooter, they rarely miss. Even a moving target, they're trained to hit moving targets, okay? And I know that President Trump turned slightly. He turned to his, it might have been his right. Facing us, though, it would have looked like he turned to the left. But at any rate, when they have a shot, they take it, okay? That's what I know. I'll just I'll just leave that there. When you have the shot, you take the shot, okay? So that was a warning and it was a provocation for you to lose your mind and do something stupid. And I came on here as quickly as I could to tell you, keep your head. Keep your head. Keep your head. Don't do something stupid. Protect yourself, protect your family, take inventory of your preps because it's getting ready to get crazy. We still have several more weeks to go before the election. And if you've been following the story of what is going on concerning Mr. Biden's presidency, half of his party, more than half of his party, do not want him in office. And I just think it's a shame that the Democrat Party can't do better than a pedophile with dementia. I mean, that's the best you can do, honestly. That's a problem, folks. So, and they can't hide it anymore. So now, you know, there's a war going on within the party because there's a lot of people that want him out, but he's a fall guy. So they need him until the other half needs him until they accomplish what they're trying to accomplish. They need somebody to blame it on. That man is not running this country, okay? There's another guy that's doing his third term from his basement. But that guy that you see that can't answer questions and won't take a cognitive test ain't running this country. It's not him. Okay? How you do, Nurse Baker? How are you? So I want to tell you, and I especially want to address my Christian followers on here. I know not all of you are Christian, so I'm not leaving you out, the guys that aren't Christians. I'm telling you, keep your head, okay? Those of you that are Christians, born again believers in Jesus, let me tell you something. The only person that's going to save this country is Jesus, okay? That's the only person that's going to save this country. I would strongly suggest that you encourage your church to pray for those in authority. The scripture says that God is the one that sets up kings and he is the one that removes them. And so we need to pray that God's will be done. Now, I said to our ministry team members 2 years ago, I said, God is going to let this thing run its course. That's what he told me. So that's what I told them. He was going to let it run its course. Now, what's the end of the course? God knows. He didn't tell me that much. Okay. I do know this. I know he could stop this madness that's going on at any time. And he hasn't done it yet. Now, I can surmise this for a couple of reasons. Number one, there are still people that are coming out of darkness. And when I say coming out of darkness, I mean they are finally looking around and can't make any more excuses for why their life sucks so bad right now, other than the policies that they have been subjected to. I mean, it comes to a point where you just can't make any more excuses. It sucks, and it sucks because of the policies that this administration has put in place on purpose. On purpose. So it takes a while for people to wake up to things that are going on. I can tell you 100 different distractions that tried to come in my life. I can't begin to tell you the things that I've dealt with just over the last year or so, okay? But particularly the last 4 years, the opposition that people get when they want the country to do better, when they want us to be an industrial hub like we used to be, a manufacturing hub like we used to be, making our own medications like we used to, and building our own cars like we used to. That's the idea of making this country great again. It has nothing to do with enslaving Black people and all this craziness that people, in my opinion, with demented mindsets, always want to keep you looking back to a nation that was in its infancy and by no means perfect. Okay, it still is not. It will never be. You know why this nation will never be perfect? Because we're in it and we're not perfect. There you go. Get over it. Okay, but you can take the best of this country and try to move that forward for the generations coming behind us. There are people who don't have a clue as to what's going on right now. All they know is they're struggling to keep food on their table or in their pantry, or get Pampers for their grandchildren or their children or whatever else is going on. And they don't have a clue about this. Honest to God, I called somebody and they had no idea. When somebody texted me, I wasn't watching the news. Somebody texted me to tell me what was going on. Then my phone started blowing up. And I'm like, what in the ham sandwich is happening? So, and then I saw it. Keep your head. Okay, just keep your head. Don't lose your mind. I know that some of you, when you see the news and you see what happened, you're going to be angry. I want to tell you that President Trump, he's fine. Okay, I'm sure it rattled him. Now let me interject something here. I'm not trying to minimize what happened today with this attempt on his life, but I will say this: if that was a staged event, if it was a staged event, it pushed his polls right over the top. Okay, right over the top. He already has 78% of the country does not want the guy that's in office now to be in there right now. There are some places like Washington State, California, other blue states where people are just, I don't know what's wrong with them. I guess they like the price of gas and all that. But they wouldn't care what the guy in the Oval Office did. They would vote for him again because they are so blinded by hatred and foolishness till they can't see the forest for the trees. It's crazy. Anyway, Happy Camper, did I say hi to you? Listen, I don't know if Mr. Biden is going to address the nation or not. They may have a body double saying something. I don't know. They all have body doubles. So he may, or his double may get up there and try to say try to say something. But here's the thing. This is what people don't need to forget. Just the other day, the same guy in the Oval Office said somebody needs to put Trump in their targets. Okay? He just said that. He just said that. So it'd be interesting to see what he says now. I mean, what else can he say other than "good job, but you missed"? What's he going to say? Because he's already said what he wanted to say. The Maxine Waters of the world, the Gavin Newsoms of the world, they've all come out and incited violence. They've all done it. They've all come out and incited violence. They've all weaponized our justice system to incite violence. They've done this. They've done this. And this is what they're about. So if we have an election, word being if we have an election, and these are the two candidates that you get to choose from, yeah, don't be stupid. And if you were stupid the first time, don't be stupid again, okay? I'm sorry. You're going to need to get past whatever personality issue you have with the guy who wants you to be able to buy gas and not have to choose between gas and medication, or the guy who has weaponized the educational systems and allowed men to go into women's young girls' locker rooms to change and rape them and do all this kind of stuff, okay? Choose wisely. That's all I'm going to tell you is choose wisely. This is not the first attempt on President Trump's life. In the last 2 years, to my knowledge, he's lost 2 bodyguards, okay, trying to protect him. This is the first time that I've seen where the attempt drew blood. But he's okay. Could have been stage blood, could have been his blood. I don't know. Here's the thing. Whatever it is, the result that they want is for the American people to be so enraged that they take to the streets and start a riot. Okay? And I'm telling you, stay peaceful. You do what you have to do when you need to do it. But don't go starting nothing. Don't you start nothing. Keep your head, stay in your house if you have to. All right? Take 5 leaps around your bathtub. Whatever you need to do to keep your head, keep your cool. Stay peaceful, because I'm telling you, they're trying to provoke you. I know what provocation looks like, and this will do it, okay? This has a whole different feel than the JFK thing. And it has a different feel than the Martin Luther King thing. of which I was alive for both. Okay, so some of you folks that are younger than me, yeah, I was around for all that. Um, this has a different feel to it. The the thing that happened with John F. Kennedy, um, the nation was in mourning, deep mourning. I mean, except for the people that did it, right? And then of course they had a fall guy too, but I ain't getting into that. But anyway, the same thing happened with Martin Luther King. The nation, see, with Martin Luther King, you could feel the grief and you could feel the rage. You could feel the grief and the rage from the black community and for the white community that marched with the black community for civil rights and equal rights. You felt both. This is different. This feels completely different. I feel the rage. I feel the rage. See, and from the people, and that's why I came on here to say, keep your cool. Don't you move. Don't move. Don't move. Hold the line. Pray. God can deal with this. Now, I'm not saying the church doesn't have any responsibility. I'm not saying that there's nothing we can do. But what I'm saying is focus your attention on what you can do. You are not Secret Service. You cannot protect the president. Your prayers can, but you cannot. Okay? The only person you can protect is yourself and your family and what belongs to you, because that is your constitutional right to do so. Okay? Keep your cool. Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. This administration and those working with them, non-elected officials that are working with them behind the scenes, they know how to set up these operations. They know how to do this kind of stuff. Okay? They've been doing it for years and years. They know how to do it. They don't just do it here, they do it in other countries. All right? They take down people that won't cooperate with them and they put their own guy in there. In other countries, yeah, we do that. We do that. Let me tell you something. There are great things about this country that those of us who love this country, have served this country, and continue to serve this country on the civil side, want to see our country restored to greatness. But I will tell you, we ain't no angel, folks. We have gone into countries and done things. We have committed crimes against humanity. We have done things. We have done things with Israel being our partner in our crimes. All right. So I'm just saying. And there are some people who see us right now in a weakened condition. When they look at the guy that's occupying the Oval Office, and I say that with a, with, with a double meaning, because it is an occupation. They look at him, they look at the way he presents himself, and they see an opportunity to take us down. All right. They don't care how they do it. They don't care who it affects. It's blind justice. They don't care who they hurt, because they feel like, and a lot of times they are right, that we have gone into other countries. We have done harm to their citizens. We have deposed their leaders. We have stolen their minerals, their jewels. We've done all kinds of crap. Okay. We ain't a shining example of righteousness. I'm just saying. But there are good things about this nation. And that is what we need to focus on. And that is what we need to pass down to the generations coming after us. But I'm going to tell you something. We can't do it if we're infighting, if we're backstabbing, if we forget the people who helped us get to where we are, if we forget about those who helped us be successful. My mother used to tell me, my mother used to say, You be kind to the people that helped you on your way up, because you will see them again on your way down. My mother told me that. I never forgot that. Never forgot that. I also never forgot when someone said to me, when somebody shows you who they really are, believe them. Don't make excuses for them. They are who they are. And once they show you who they really are, I'm not saying who they presented themselves to be, but when they show you who they really are, that's who they are. And all your wishing and a hoping and all that kind of stuff ain't going to change who they are. So deal with it. You know, they either need to be in your life or out of your life or at a distance in your life. But do what you need to do to protect yourself from fake friends, fake politicians, fake co-laborers, and all that stuff. We got enough fakery going on. And we have got to get ourselves together. It is important that you find as many like-minded people as you can that you can network with. And when I say network, I'm not necessarily talking about all across the United States and around the world. Because if things get so heated that you can't leave your house for 2 or 3 weeks, or you can't leave your immediate area for 2 or 3 weeks or 6 weeks or however long it takes, you need to know who you can talk to, who you can network with, who you can trade with, who you can barter with, who can help you in case you run short on something or they run short on something, who can come to you for help. All right. This is where we're at, folks. It's sad. This is not the country I grew up in. I grew up in the country where kids didn't have any problems, playing in the street. Now, I'm not saying there wasn't any crime. I'm saying I grew up in the era when the street lights came on, you better be home. Okay. that kind of thing. Or if you was caught doing something you ain't had no business and the neighbors had your mama or your dad's phone number, you better hope they didn't see you. Okay. Now, when my mother was coming up, those people could actually whip you, take you to your parents, and then you get whipped again. Okay. I'm so glad times changed, because when I came up, you wasn't whipping somebody else's kid. Now, you was going to get a whooping because your parent was probably going to take the word of that adult that you did something crazy. Okay. And you're going to get on punishment or whatever. That's not the world we're in now. The world we're in now, these kids don't know how to raise kids. They've been taught not to discipline their kids. They say anything out of their mouth to their parents. It is astounding. I mean, some of the things I see. The only thing I can tell you is, if it were me and I said some of the things that I hear coming out of some of these young people's mouths to their parents or to their elders, if I said that when I was coming up, I'd still be trying to find my soul, because my mother would kill me. Okay. And no doubt about it, I'd still be regretting that stuff. They're not raising the kids like that anymore. And I really don't know who's to blame for that. When I was coming up, they had a motto that it takes a village to raise a child, right? And that was, I think I came up when that was kind of disappearing, because there was a rise in single family homes, because a lot of our men were being locked up for crimes, drugs, guns, whatever all else. And so it caused a fracture in the home, where you have a single parent home where a parent is out working and the kids become, what did they call them? Not in my era, but the generations that came behind me, they were calling them latchkey kids. If some of you guys might be familiar with that term. Hi, Gloria. These kids have been weaponized, okay? A lot of them, their conscience has been seared. They may or may not know right from wrong. They just know what they've been taught. It's been ingrained in them. Their schools have turned into propaganda machines that have taught these generations how to hate their country, how to hate their parents, how to be confused about their sexual identity, how to, like everything is about how they feel. Um, I mean, if we all went by how we felt or what we identify as, a lot of people would be identifying as a tax-free citizen. Okay, you know, I don't pay taxes. I identify as tax-free. All right, or whatever. Uh, but this is what they're being taught. So I don't know how old the person was that tried to take this man's life today. I'm pretty sure they wasn't my age, okay? Because we grew up in a better America. And I was talking to my daughter today after all this, and I told her, not just today, but I've told her before, you guys better take this seriously, what is going on, or you're going to find yourself a slave to a system that you do not want to be a part of. They will take everything from you, okay? Everything. Because they don't want you to have anything. Remember, you won't own anything and you'll be happy. They mean that, folks. They mean that. So if we can't get it into these people's heads somehow to focus on what is important, and that looking at life through the lens of just the right now is ridiculous. Unless you plan on offing yourself in the next 5 minutes, you have a life to live. And God knows the number of your days. What if God has predetermined that you would live to be 100? My mother-in-law is still living. She's over 100. What if God has predetermined that you're going to live another 20 years? And you see what's happening right now. And I'm talking to the younger generation. If you don't get your head together and pull your head out of your behind and stop going by your feelings and learn your history of where we've come from, the good and the bad, what we've done, what we did wrong, so that you don't repeat the mistakes of the past, you will be enslaved. I'm telling you. And this ain't got nothing to do with race. They don't care, because greed doesn't have a color. All right. It doesn't have a color palette. It doesn't care who it enslaves. So they hate you. And it's like President Trump said, they're not after me. They're after you. I'm just standing in the way. So they're trying. They already know the will of the people. They already know that President Biden's poll numbers have tanked beyond belief. The absolute, I mean, I think he's polling at like something like 32. His own party has turned against him. And I'm not talking about a faction in the party. I'm talking about, there's just a small faction in the party that wants him to remain in office. And they most definitely do not want his vice president. They don't want her. Okay. She had some of the lowest poll numbers in history as a vice president and somehow made it as vice president, So they can't make good policy. The only thing they do well is cheat, lie, and steal. And that sounds like the devil, and destroy things. That's what they do. So that's what Marxists do. That's what communists do. That's what they do. That's what they do. Read about Lenin. Read about Mao, Chairman Mao. Read about these people and see what they did. And you will see some of the same principles that these communist dictators ran their country by is being played out right in front of you. Right in front of you. They don't care about you. You are a number. That's it. You're a number. It's like one big concentration camp. You're a number. That's it. They don't care about you. How long have I been telling you that? They don't care about you. They really don't. So you better start caring about yourself and your family. And I'm telling you, you better grab every young person you can and shake them. Tell them, pay attention. Pay attention, because what we're going through right now, what myself and others are fighting for right now, ain't for us. It's not for us. We're playing the back nine, okay? Most of us are over 60 years old. 65 years. I'm over 65 years old. I'm not, listen, I have lived a lot of my life. Okay. So what I'm doing right now, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for those coming behind me, trying to secure a better future for the generations coming behind me. And I'm not talking about just in my family, I'm talking about for your family too. We all live on the same plot of soil here, on the same United States of America. Anyway, pray for our country. Okay. Um, we're in trouble, folks. I'm telling you, this is serious. Um, when someone hates you so much that they want to take your life, that's a dangerous person. I don't care when a government turns on its people, like what we saw today. Because let me tell you something. When President Trump says they're not after me, they're after you, I'm in the way. Why are they trying to get him out of the way when nearly 80% of the country want him to lead? Even people who don't even like him want him in office because their life was better. They don't like his personality, but their life was better. They don't like the way he talks, but their life was better. They don't like the way he says things and the way he insults people and all that kind of stuff, and all that New York stuff that comes out of them, but their life was better. And it wasn't that long ago, and that's what they want back. They want that back. They don't necessarily care for the man, but they like his policies. See, this is where people need to grow up. You don't have to like the person. But how do you like these policies? How do you like what you're dealing with right now? How do you like this? Because these are the policies that were cheated into office. Okay? This is what you have been subjected to. You didn't ask for this. Well, maybe some of you did. Yeah, don't be stupid again. Okay? Like I said in the beginning, don't do this again. If you made a mistake, you made a mistake. There ain't no way in the world. I don't know a single person. I don't know a person personally that wants to continue things the way they are going and the way they have been going for the last 3 years and however many months, 9 months. I don't know a person. Hi, Valerie. We need to come together and pray as a nation. I will be shocked if you ever see this administration go out on the Capitol steps and lead the nation in prayer. Don't hold your breath. These people hate God. They hate this country and they hate you. They want the land. They want your house. They want your bank account. But they don't want you. They don't want you or your kids. Well, they do want your kids. That's a whole nother thing. They do want your kids, but not for the reasons that you might be thinking. Okay? They want your kids. Oh, they like kids. Oh, yeah. You know how many kids have gone missing in the last 3.5 years? A lot that were never recovered. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? They don't know. Border Patrol says they lost track of them. Once they were turned over, they lost track of them. They don't know where they are. That's what's going on right now. When President Trump was in office, his daughter, Ivanka, had a huge push going on against trafficking and trafficking rings that were busted and all this stuff. This is why they don't want him in office, because he upsets their bottom line, all right? He upsets the bottom line. He puts a halt to the trafficking and all this stuff, makes it harder for the traffickers to rape and kill children. And Ivanka was working very hard on that and having great success with that. And these pedophiles that this man has surrounded himself with don't like that. You're taking them out of their playpen, right? So they can't stand this man. They hate him. And it ain't got nothing to do with just his personality. It's the fact that he loves his country. He loves the people that don't even love him, even though he got a little harsh words with them sometimes. But still, what he's doing, he doesn't have to do this. The man got more money than you and I will ever see in our lifetime. And like he said, he had a good life. He had a peaceful life. But when he saw what was happening to the country, he felt like he had to do something. This is you understand that people volunteer to be president, right? They they volunteer. And I honestly, I don't know how he's doing it. I'm like, man, it's the grace of God with this guy. I'm telling you, I ain't never seen nothing like it. I ain't never seen nothing like it, because there have been others where they didn't miss. Okay. So this was a warning to get you upset, to get me upset. I got sick in my stomach. I was so disgusted. I got sick in my stomach. I've seen so much in this last 3 years, particularly in the last year and a half, just dealing with my own state. I've seen so much. It's disgusting. And let me tell you, because my focus is not just nationally or in the state, it's internationally. I'm looking around the world to see what's going on in other countries, because it's this one big playbook, folks. It's, you know, everybody's using the same playbook. It's just that every country's on a different page in the playbook, but it's the same plan all around the world, right? The powers that be, the unelected officials, the Wizard of Oz, the guy behind the curtain, whatever you want to call it, they got a plan. And it ain't to prosper you or to help you be in health. And don't even get me there with the whole health thing. Look at my last video. Look at my last video where I talked about, trying to survive the medical community, protecting yourself from the medical community. That's a whole nother issue. But even with that, they weaponized the medical community. They weaponized the VA. I mean, you had people in there that was literally killing veterans, and you couldn't fire them because they had seniority and they had all this stuff going on. And President Trump went in there and started cleaning that mess up. And I'm telling you, I've been a veteran for nearly 30 years, and I ain't never seen the service through the VA that I got for the 4 years that he was in that Oval Office. I'm telling you, I had top quality care. It was amazing. And it ain't take long before he left that everything just went to crap. It didn't take long at all. I mean, really, it didn't take long. It was crazy. It didn't take long at all, because people went right back to thinking they were not expendable. They could never be fired, and this and this and this, because after all, they were going to get a job whether they had qualifications or not, just based on the color of their skin. All kinds of crazy stuff was going on at your expense. Okay. So when you vote, if we have a vote, don't make the same mistake. Just understand who you're dealing with. Okay. Now, Valerie is saying that her life was not better under Trump, his rhetoric and his lies. I've heard people say that, but I haven't had a single person able to tell me what exactly he lied about. When I hear people say that, it sounds to me like they're just repeating what other people are saying in their same circles. It's like being in an echo chamber. I know for a fact that gas, food, automobile parts, nothing was as expensive as it is now. The education system was not weaponized against the children. The stuff that's going on now was not going on then. So I think it depends on your worldview and what exactly it is you want in life. If this is better, if you think this is better, if you think grown men going into little girls' locker rooms after they have gym and all that is a grand old thing, well, go ahead and vote for the pedophile in the Oval Office. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but my life wasn't no worse under him. I can tell you that much. I can't really say it was better. I think life overall for most people was better. Now, why would I say that? Look at the numbers. Look at the amount of people that goes to his rallies. People don't subdue fund somebody that they don't believe in. They had 4 years of this man, and they're going to these rallies, 60,000 people, 30,000 people. Joe Biden can't fill up a high school gymnasium. And, so if your life wasn't better under that administration, maybe you were making some bad decisions. I don't know what to tell you, because there were more jobs than I had seen in like decades available to the American people. So it depends on what you want in life. If you just want to find fault, you can look around and find it anywhere. I mean, anywhere. Seriously. Anyway, so if you are one of the people whose life did not improve under that administration, when there were more jobs than this country had seen in decades available, there were more jobs than there were people to fill the jobs. Interest rates were very low. Everybody could buy a house who qualified for it and who had the income for it. You could buy a house. Things that, nobody was really concerned about the retirement age getting jacked up to where, now you got to go to work in a wheelchair, or you got to go to work on a walker because you have, you're almost a centenarian or whatever. The things that are happening now was not happening then. And so if you feel like your life is better now, then it must have really been screwed. You must have been homeless back then. I don't know what to tell you. But you don't draw those kind of crowds because you've treated people badly. All right? So if you need some proof that life was better, maybe your particular situation didn't improve, well, maybe you got to take some responsibility for some of the choices that you've made. You can't blame Trump because it rained on your parade, okay? You just can't. Trump ain't responsible for everybody's life individually. We make choices. When we make choices, sometimes the consequences can follow us for years. Ask me, I know. Okay? Sometimes the consequences are over quickly. Sometimes they follow us for years, and it won't matter who's in office. If you screwed up, you screwed up. Make better decisions, okay? But when there are opportunities to better your life, and you don't take that because you're hung up on a personality quirk or whatever, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. My life, I have a good life, okay? I have a good life. I'm blessed. I'm not struggling like a lot of people are. I see what's going on around me. And my husband and I do what God tells us to do when it comes to helping people. There are some people I ain't giving the time of day. Okay. I'm just not going to do it because it would be a waste of my resources to do so. But when we see a genuine need, I'm going to help the person. I mean, that's just what we're going to do. If I'm able to do it, I will do it. Because God has blessed me like that. God has blessed our family. He has blessed us. He's just blessed us, and you know why? Because I know that man looks at the outward appearance of a person, but God looks at the heart. And when he shows me the heart of a person, that's what I go by. This is back to what I said before. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. All right. And when God shows you who they are, you better believe that. You better believe that. And if Trump's a liar and has a lot of rhetoric, have you heard Biden? No, you probably haven't, because he can't make a sentence, okay? But I can tell you the man is a liar. He is a pathological liar. And I don't know how old all of you are on here, but I'm telling you, I've been around for Biden's entire career, even when he was a senator, and he's always been a liar, okay? You ain't got to go very far back in the news broadcast right now to see where he lied, okay? You don't have to go back. You don't have to dig up something. I don't have to repeat something somebody told me. I'm talking about stuff that come out of his own mouth so, that I know he's lying about. So there you go. Anyway, and the racist remarks that he makes. It's just astounding that people don't seem to catch that. I'm like, did you hear that? Oh, Lord. Anyway, I wish all of you well. Um, do what you can do while you can to improve your life. Nobody in the Oval Office is responsible, not completely, for your quality of life, okay? Ain't no savior in the White House. There ain't no savior coming to the White House, okay? We really, as a nation, have to grow up and stop hanging on the government teat, expecting the government to raise us and to give us everything and to do everything for us, and then say we ain't making it when we did not make good decisions. We have to take responsibility for our own life. And this is why I come on here and tell you guys to stay focused, okay? Don't get yourself in a bind where you end up being a fall guy for some black flag event that our government set up to ensnare you and trap you and imprison you because you got all into your emotions. Keep your head on straight, okay? Keep your head, stay peaceful, protect yourself when you need to, protect your family when you need to, and keep the main thing, okay? And right now, the main thing is we have a nation to save. We live here. We live here, and we have been invaded. We have people training on our soil to kill us. Do you understand that? So get past this mindset of Trump, with the derangement syndrome. You got people in this country right now that were let in by this administration to kill you. You get it? Are you getting it? Are you understanding that? All right. Lord have mercy. I love all you guys. I really do. We have to vote. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I had the same struggle in my own head. What's the point when all they're going to do is have all these illegals voting? That's why they brought them in. You know why they brought them in? Because they know they lost the majority of the black vote that they have been prostituting for the last 60 years. Okay? That's right. Promising the black community something and gave them nothing. Look at Chicago. Look at Philadelphia. Look at Detroit. Look at all these. Look at California. Look at Berkeley. Look at all these places where they promised to do this, do that, deliver this, deliver that. They did nothing. They did nothing. And the people have finally waken up and said, yeah, you know what? You had time. You had time to do what you said you were going to do. Our schools are rotting, and you don't even want us to have a choice as to where we send our schools. Our school is riddled with guns, with teenagers coming in with firearms. I want to pull my child out of that school, and this party is voting against that. No, send your kid in there. They don't care about sacrificing your child. They're in their gated communities. They've got their armed guards while they're trying to take away your right to defend yourself. Choose wisely when you vote, okay? Because if you think you're not being replaced, you're wrong. I don't know why you think all these people are coming in here. They know they don't have the support of the American people. They know it. They know it. And that's why they have to import all these other people, promise them the moon, and they're finding out now that they've been lied to. They're finding out that they should have got here 3 years ago because there ain't no more hotel space. Now they're putting them in tents, closing down schools and making them makeshift shelters and all this kind of stuff. These people are, all the gravy's gone. They done trashed the 5-star hotels because they come over here not even knowing how to use a toilet the right way in our country, and they done trashed these 5-star hotels. They complain about the food, but they didn't have nothing to eat where they were coming from, supposedly. And we've got countless fighting age Chinese men training in our country on our soil. For what? For what? Let that hit you, okay? So while some of you may want to take an issue with somebody who really wants to try to save this country and save your butt in the process, just think about what you got right now. Think about what you have right now. I suggest you get before God and ask Him to clear your mind and search your heart. Because if you cannot see that where this country is right now is in a very bad place, something is desperately wrong with you, and it is beyond my reach. Okay? It's beyond, I can't help you because I've been honest with you guys. I'm not a liar. I ain't got nothing to gain. Ain't nobody paying me with my time to come on here and tell you keep your head. Don't lose your mind. That's what they want you to do. That's what they want you to do. It's they want to bait you. They want you to take to the streets. They want you to do all kinds of stuff. Don't do it. Don't do it. Defend yourself, defend your family, defend your property if you have to. But keep your head. Make sure you vote if we have an election. Get involved. As much as I hate to say as much as I hate to say it, and I have my own reasons for hating to say it, you might just have to get involved in politics, okay? And let me tell you, somebody said a long time ago, politics is a messy business. I'd have met more backstabbing people since I've been an elected official than I have in my entire years on this planet, okay? Backstabbing, lying people who will take any opportunity to be great, okay? Nevertheless, we still have a country to save. And we need to do that. That's where our focus needs to be. So, if we have an election, try to be a poll worker, right? If you live in my state, they just increased the poll worker salary. They doubled it. You know, I used to be a poll worker. I was an inspector. I had to make sure all the ballots were all right. Nothing was messed up, that everything that came to me went back out to the election board. Yeah, I had to do all that stuff and make sure everything was okay. And my poll was absolutely, my post was absolutely squeaky clean, okay? So get involved. You don't even have to actually know politics, but you do need to know what's going on. And so go to school board meetings, especially if you have school age kids. What are they talking about? What are they trying to do? What kind of curriculum are they trying to bring in to the school? Because that's what's going into your future. That's what's going into the future of this nation, is what they're teaching these kids right now is going to stick with them. And unless they have a counter view, they're going to believe what they're told, okay? There's a motto with the Man Boy Love Association that says, if you don't get them before they're 8, it's too late. You know what the Man Boy Love Association is? It's men that like to be with boys. It's just, that's what it is. And rather than call it what it is, they want to change the wording to make it more palatable, palatable to say minor attracted person. Whatever you want to call it, it's an abomination, okay? Those are children. Leave the kids alone. Go get some help so you can relate to an adult like you're supposed to, okay? And the rest of us need to try to save this country. Anyway, I wanted to come on here today and tell you guys, I care about you. That's why I'm on here. I see what's happening. I want to make sure that everybody keeps their head. Don't lose your mind. Keep your head on straight. Don't take the bait. President Trump is fine. He's fine. Okay? He's doing fine. By the grace of God, he's doing fine. And I want to say for the record, I don't wish Mr. Biden any harm or his family. I do want justice. I think they need to go to prison. I think they're a crime family. I think the Pelosi's need to go to prison. I think the Clintons need to go to prison. I think there's a whole lot of people need to go to prison. I think Bush Jr. needs to go to prison for 9/11. Okay. But that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. And that ain't, I don't even want to say it's just my opinion because it ain't just my opinion. Okay. It is my opinion, but it ain't just my opinion. These people need to go to prison and let the chips fall where they may. They need to be. They need to go before court. They need to go to a. They need to go through the Hague for crimes against humanity. Fauci needs to be before the Hague. I'm sorry. People need to go to jail for the things that they have done to this country and to this world. And you and I have a voice. Use your voice while you have your voice. Okay? All right. Everybody cool? Everybody calm? We might not agree on listen, we don't have to agree on everything. Okay? That's what makes America great. We don't have to agree on everything. I ain't gonna come burn your house down or break out your storefront window because I don't agree necessarily with your politics. I'm not gonna do that. Why would I do that? I would have had to shop at that store one day. Now I can't because I broke the window. You know, you know what I'm saying? So we don't have to resort to that because we don't agree with somebody. Just, do you. That's all I'm saying. Just do you. I'm going to do me. So there you go. We have a country to save. Keep your head on straight. Keep your pantry stocked. Keep your powder dry. And pray for our country. I will see you the next time I come on. I appreciate you coming on. I know there was no notice. I just had to jump on here and try to sound the alarm. Don't react to what you saw today. Don't react. Just pray. If you don't pray, wish him well and stay focused. All right. I'll see you guys the next time I come on. Take care and God bless you all. Have a good night.